baseball world. Happy to tell you that we are back. I am Neil DAWG here with Seth Bam Bam Clark. Hey, Seth, thought we finally got together for a show.
Yeah, right. Finally, hell, we've been waiting here for like an hour for the host to finally join us. I can't tell you the joy I took in sitting here and waiting and waiting. Man, like, oh, finally it's Neil Dog.
Hey,
finally it's Neil Dog.
You know what's funny about that is, and I was talking about us not having done a show in 3 weeks, actually, not you waiting. but what's funny about that is that's what I always go through when I'm sitting here with the guests, like there's Seth coming. It's like, he's trying to connect. He says he'll be here in a minute.
Right.
So now you know what I go through.
Oh yeah, no, it's hard, right? It's stressful when you're trying to get on and you need to be somewhere and the computer's not working, right? It's a stressful thing, right? I'm just saying, man.
By the way,
life's hard.
By the way, thank you, Steve Guerra, who helped me get connected. When I couldn't get my audio connected, I went to my man with the plan called Steve Guerra. It's like, Steve, please, right now. Steve doesn't like me when I'm stressed. He can, and usually when he helps me, he can hear my computer. I got headphones on, but he was very patient and he got us hooked up. So thank you very much, Steven. A little last note on us not having done the show in a few weeks, because I had been saying at some point after the World Series we'd start doing the show like every other week, like until the things picked up in the spring. But man, there are times that it's just hard to schedule a show. So I'm not going to do, I don't think we should do a planned, whatever. We should just try to plan to do it every week, because there's just going to be times where at it, just whatever. Life isn't going to allow it to happen. So anyways, final note on that. We have here with us one of the teams that has been making some of the most news for the off season, because we've talked about it on the show before. There's been a lot of change going on left.
God, we were doing another Thunder episode. I thought you told me a different team was coming on. Just joking. Just messing with you, Bill.
No, I knew you were messing with me, but I didn't really totally get the connection, Thunder.
Well, saying there's been a team that's been making a lot of news.
Oh, I got it. True.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, with the Edge picking up the players they have, and the Thunder losing players. I mean, it is easy to go right to the Indy Thunder, but man, before all that got real crazy, it was the Philadelphia Fire that was heading to Dakota. But
hey, Dak in the house. Dak in the house.
Is that Dak Prescott's real name, Dakota?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
All right.
Her father was a Cowboy fan too, just like me. Named her after a cowboy. It's a joke.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Definitely named after a car.
Seth is the biggest Dallas Cowboys fan I've ever encountered, and he named his daughter Landry after Tom Landry. So he was making the joke that you were named after Dak Prescott. But I think you and Dak are pretty near the same age, so I don't think that was the case. But yeah,
I think he would have named us after Dan Marino.
So the Philly Fire have been a team that has picked up a whole bunch of players here in this offseason. One of the more exciting up-and-coming teams, I believe, and we have a guest of their players and their play-by-play commentator. So we have one of their newest players, Tyler Rodriguez, here with us. Ty's been back on the show before. Welcome back, TY.
What's up, y'all?
Our boy just had a birthday. I was telling him recently that when we were on the phone the other day setting this up, that it's ironic that when we did the Beat Ball Jeopardy Eric was on with us, and he had just turned 21. So we're gonna have, when Braden turns 21, we're gonna have to have him on the show. Keep things rolling. But happy birthday, Ty! How are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm good. I celebrated my 21st birthday.
I'm guessing celebrated hard.
Yeah, but
I did.
Hey, that's good. Since it's probably the first time you've ever drank alcohol in your life, it's good that you went out and did it. Did it
yeah,
right.
I wasn't a fan actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
What'd you say? You weren't a fan?
I wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah, tried it once, now he's done. He's got it out of his system.
One and done.
Hey, congratulations to you. I know as you came on the show that you said you got some good family news for your grandma. So, thumbs up to you and the family.
Yeah. I was hoping y'all wouldn't. Yeah, I was hoping y'all wouldn't worry that DB was gonna start asking for money again, me being late and all.
We already had Dakota and Matt here with us, so we were gonna be fine just jumping ahead without you. You're like the new rookie. You're the rookie on their team. We weren't gonna wait for you. But we're not allowed to say DB on the show anymore. That's Yoko now.
This is called DB Yoko.
That's Yoko now. All right, let's introduce the rest of the crowd real quick. Let's bring in Miss Dakota Hog. It's so hard for me not to call you Hog Wild or like Hogzilla because I'm so used to that with your dad. But Dakota Hogwood, our defensive rookie of the year. I mean, I'm offensive. Offensive rookie.
And then
Hey, mute your phone, Ty. Please. Good man. Hey, Dakota. God, that's a crazy show.
You're so polite, Bill.
I know, right? So, Dakota, welcome to the show. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know how I'm going to call a Hogwood a defensive Rookie of the Year, because I know that you probably were born with your dad's bat. But welcome to the show, Dakota. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you guys?
We are doing great. So tell us, obviously your dad's a player. He's been a player for a while. It seems like your whole family is involved in this sport now. But when did you get started playing? This was your rookie year, but I'm guessing you played a little bit before this year.
Yeah, I kind of started off with like spotting and volunteering like probably 10 or so years ago now. Mm-hmm. I started off as like a spotter for we were the Wolf Pack.
Yeah, Pennsylvania Wolf Pack.
We were spotting for them, me and my sister. And as the years went on, I obviously learned how to do the sport and everything, but my vision deteriorated a little bit. So around, I guess, 2015, I kind of stopped spotting and started slightly playing, but not playing. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the first year as the Philadelphia Fire. And then I took a couple year break and then came back this year, like in full swing as a player.
Cool. As far as your like hitting goes or whatever, is that something that you worked on a lot with your dad or on separately on your own?
Kind of just, I mean, I know how to swing from playing softball.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
Then,
did you play any other sports beforehand?
Yeah, like I actually played a lot of sports in high school. I did actually do goal ball. I did but I did run like track and field. I played softball, was gymnastics a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really athletic.
Yeah, you got a big background. Were you always a high partial? Like, did you have 20/20 and then it started to deteriorate, or were you just a high partial before?
A high partial, always.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always just need a large print and stuff like that.
Right. All right. I'm curious, like in the family, because you're one of 7 girls, right? 7?
No, one of 7. One of 6 children, and How many girls? 4.
Okay.
4 girls. I was sitting there trying to think. I'm like, what am I thinking about? But yes.
For some reason, I thought they were all girls. And I thought Scott had 7 kids. 6 is still plenty.
Yeah, he does have 7 kids. He's got a boys at the top and then a boy at the bottom.
Yes.
7 kids, all girls sounds better though, man. Go with that.
4 girls is bad enough.
Shout out to Remember the Titans. I assume that. Yeah, that's sure. Yeah, 9 sounds better. Sorry, we get distracted very easily. I'm trying to arrange my question. Are you the only one who has a sight impairment, or some of the other kids have it also?
No, my older sister and I both have RP, and then my younger sister, she's just got, I believe it's just a little bit of stigmatism.
Okay.
She's able to drive and all that. She's actually, I think driving Tyler right now.
Oh, that's Cam out there driving now, and she's got stigmatism.
Yes, I don't know exactly her
slow down
vision range, but and then I do have a younger sister who is completely blind in her right eye.
Oh, okay.
And then our younger brother is he's pretty good with that. He just needs glasses, and I think it corrects him to like 20/20 or 20/30.
Well, one thing that I think is really cool about your family listening, I mean, you guys, your dad played for the Titans, and so you guys, there's been a mix of Hogwoods on Philly teams and on New Jersey teams. But
Yes,
what I love about it is, like, you got some of you are spotting, some of you doing play-by-play. You know what I mean? I love that it's a family thing.
yeah, always has been.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. Seth's kids are like that. They've been out at the World Series, and I have no doubt that if we had a team going and we were playing all these games, that they would be out doing all the same things you guys are doing. So I don't know. I love it all. Let's bring Mr. Matt in now, Matt Wallace, who is someone that does play-by-play for the Philly Fire Streams. But Matt, you also participated with Rosina this past summer doing the NBBA streams. Man, welcome to the show, Matt.
Hi. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My first World Series, got to do I think 7 games in total for the NBBA. It was great. It was an awesome experience.
No, it was really fun listening to you guys do the streams. I thought the NBBA did a great job putting that together. And we'll talk more about those streams and promote that more. But what's your background? I know when I've talked about you before, I've been unclear on whether you're like a journalist student now, or if you've already finished college. Like, what's your background? How'd you get into doing the play-by-play stuff?
So I graduated from Temple in 2015 with a broadcast journalism degree, but my background in sports kind of goes back a long time. I have 5 older siblings, a dad who was big into Sunday football. So I had a family who was really into it. So I was the youngest, and of course, once I got into it, I wanted to be the best and the most knowledgeable out of everyone, and I wanted to like my own team. So, for people who know me like Dakota, they'll know that, I'm a Philadelphia resident, but I like varying teams. I'm a Houston Astros, Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm a Dodgers fan. But you guys cheated us out of a World Series.
Here we go. We can get into that another time. Don't get me started on the steroid era and all the other times in baseball players are cheaters. They were born cheaters. They'll die cheaters. Anyway.
So that in your journalistic opinion, that wasn't a denial, correct?
Oh, they cheated. I mean, they had to deal with those consequences, But 2017 still counts.
There's a very long and old saying in sports that covers all the sports. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So.
It's just I wish we were like those Patriots fans who just like cheated and they woke up and they won like 5 Super Bowls or whatever. So let's do that. Let's try that. But anyway, so I'm a Astros, Browns, Pacers, and Blue Jackets fan. So just to give you an idea of the random, so and a huge Ohio State. So when I grew up, my siblings, I would grow up to Sports Center. I'd grow up and I would listen to different play-by-play guys and I would just study the sport. Like, of course, it's about my team's winning at the end of the day, but I love just watching a sport, learning about a sport. Recently, I've learned a lot more about NASCAR and soccer. So I consider myself just a guy who we all have a passion. And, it's funny growing up, you're like the guys. No, I love just studying sports, talking about it. And I would do little play-by-play gigs here and there. My uncle would, have his son would play quarterback for his grade school football team. So I'd go do the PA for those games. Like my uncle would kind of whisper in my ear what was happening, and I would paint my own picture of it. Things like that.
Let me stop you right there, because for the audience, you're totally blind, right?
Yeah,
are you
total fake eyes and everything?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with Seth and I. So, well, welcome to the club. But but no, I mean, I think that's important to pop out, to point out. Like, I'm totally blind, and I grew up a big fan. Seth's known me for over 30 years now. I could tell you, I'm a big fan of play-by-play, and I felt for a long time I honestly, I give you thumbs up, total props, because for me, I was like, man, if I could see, that's something that I think I could be good at. I didn't try to pursue it. You know what I mean? And
right.
you jumping into college and going after it and not letting you hold that back. I props to you, man. I wish I had those balls, really.
Well, it's more for me. It's like, that's always been my passion. And I think you get a little more of a chip on your shoulder. I can't speak for anyone else individually on here, but I think when I heard all throughout, as a blind person, we're all totally blind or have varying degrees of blindness. We all hear to a certain extent, I'm sure, are you sure you want to do this? What's your plan? Like, you want to do this? What's your actual plan? This is my plan. Like, I work in contracts right now. I was able to supplement it. I was book smart enough in school to get through. But this is my passion. This is my plan. Like, I don't want to say I don't have another passion, but this is what drives me. This is always what has driven me. I love the studying of the game. I love getting into the past. Anyone can tell you, watching a game involving my team is quite the experience. It's quite the experience. If you were ever able to watch a Sunday Browns game with me, you might want to run away in the second quarter, run very fast in the opposite direction.
I may be one of the few that could handle it, because I've done Sunday with Seth during a Cowboys game.
We were talking a little bit before. Yeah, he's right up there with his. I respect the heck out of that.
He's booted me out of my own living room so that he could have peace with his team. Me not running my mouth. But no, and touching on something that you said, because I have a friend who years ago, back in the 90s, was doing an internship at the sports station here in Sacramento that is the flagship station for the Sacramento Kings. And he wasn't trying to do play-by-play. He just simply wanted to get into radio. And they pulled him aside during this internship, which is totally inappropriate. They're like, you really should, just like you're saying, you really should consider other avenues. This is not a job for blind people. And he wasn't. And that, when you consider that you're trying to get into play-by-play, you know what I mean? There are very few sighted people that are going to be open-minded enough to think a blind person could contribute to a play-by-play situation. So again,
absolutely.
Man, thumbs up to you. Thumbs up to you.
Yeah, and when I was in college, I experienced that with the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Just absolutely, 2 ways you can go with it. You can just give up, or you can be like, okay, well, when I do get opportunities to do play-by-play, and you guys know this, you listen to me, you got to bring some personality to the game. You got to bring some personality. It's not stand out. If you just go on there and you're like everyone else, and you're, oh yeah, what a great strikeout. That was a really good play there, Joe. Like, you're blind. You got to stand out. So I had to stand out. It wasn't just a matter of I do stand out and I'm great. No, I had to make myself, make people like yourself, frankly, people like, others, to be like, wow, you're good. That's what I needed to have the motivation to continue. Because if I don't stand out, I'm just a blind guy trying to do it, like every other blind guy trying to do it.
Well, I have a question. When you do your broadcast, and let's say you're doing if whatever, you're doing a high school game or anything, let's say on an actual like broadcast, would the audience know you're blind? Do you, is it something that you're like, hey, I'm blind, I'm going to tell you what's up though? Or is it something that you just go and do your job, and then if they need to know or they find out or whatever? How do you handle, I guess is the question, as I work it out in my own mind, how do you handle your blindness with your audience? Or does it not come up, I guess?
It's funny you say this, Seth. As I grew up, it's really this has really just been something that I've grown into. But now, in any walk of life, really, I just, because look, if you walk into a job interview with your cane, you're blind. Everyone knows you're blind. You can try to hide it as best you can if that's what you're about. But it's there, especially if you're a total. As a broadcaster, I know throughout the course of my game that there's going to be something that I simply don't know unless I have Rosina sitting next to me or someone else that's actually providing that. There's just simply, I don't know who picked up the ball necessarily. I'm going to do my best to guess, and I'm going to do my best to figure it out and ask. But I simply don't know. So again, I could sit there and fake it, and like, oh, that was John Margist over there, or and then it's like, no, dude, that was Jason Capati again. You're wrong for like the third time. Or I could just go straight up and be like, listen, I am totally blind, because that right away you're transparent with who you are, and it doesn't
just
confuse
put it
the
out
listeners when you make. Yeah.
Sure. It's funny listening to you talk about doing your nephew, I think it was our cousin's game or whatever. We did a beep baseball demonstration like over 20 years ago when the World Series was here in Sacramento, to try to promote the World Series. We did a demonstration out at this minor league baseball field, and somebody thought it was a great idea to put me up in the booth and do all the announcing.
Awesome.
And so I told the person that was helping me, just simply give me their, I know everybody's number, so just tell me the number and I'll know who's at the plate. But the problem was they were giving me a number before they knew if the person was going to the plate or not. It turned out. So there were times I'd be like, now up to bat, Seth, Bam Bam Clark. And it'd be Danny Fapiano would be the one at the place. Like nobody in the crowd really knew that I was being an idiot. But afterwards, man, they were like, man, who was giving you the numbers? You didn't get anything right. It's like, oh well, I tried. It was a silly thing we shouldn't have been doing anyway. So
that's great. But I think you make a good point though. As a blind, mistakes are going to happen. You might as well just have fun with it.
No, I just got to roll with it.
Try to be perfect.
Yeah.
If I try to be perfect, it just, like you said, it just turns into, geez, you really, this guy really, I don't know if we really want this guy back.
All right, let's get TY back up here. If we could get him unmuted, and when we get back to you, Matt, we're going to promote the NBBA games and talk about next year. TY, you around?
Yeah, I'm here.
So wow. TY, man, this is a big deal. You jumping from the Thunder, moving over to the Philly Fire. You and I have had some private conversations. I'll be honest, I wasn't surprised you left because I knew how you were feeling about things. But I was surprised at how quickly you made the decision, man. You didn't mess around. How are you feeling about your move and moving over with your new teammates?
I feel good about it because I'm cool with everybody that I was cool with on the Thunder. So nothing really changed. I just went to a different team. But yeah, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I'm like, I'll do it now instead of waiting till like January so they can have time to get players and stuff or whatever. And then everything just happened because I wasn't the only one annoyed.
And again, I wasn't surprised that you made the decision, but like you pointed, that you did it so quickly. Like in the day, I guess, like, Seth and I have been around forever. We've played on different teams. We've had teammates come and go that we've stayed friends with, coming and whatever, you know what I mean? We understand it's just part of the game. But I guess, Seth, for me, I'm thinking like in our time, like you would kind of have feelings that players might move around, but man, nothing would really happen till like springtime.
Right.
And a lot of it would just kind of die off and people would end up staying where they stayed, man.
Right.
It's a different thing, man, to just have it jump so quickly, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like this is more than just a year. This is the first year I could have left, so I left, to be honest. So it was just the first year I could actually afford to leave and stuff, just because a lot of the same people that annoyed me have been on there since 2016.
All right. Well, moving
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Unless there's more you want to say on that.
Well, no, I was just saying, this is the first year I could actually afford to, and y'all, I made it open. People annoyed me, so I'm not gonna pay money to do a sport that like is for recreation and not have fun doing it. So I was like, all right, I'll have fun on this team. So I'm more excited that I'm not gonna have people barking at me all the time now.
Now, listen, in the end, I mean, Seth and I both left the Dogs because we were unhappy, even though that's a team we built. Like that second version of the Dogs, Seth and I built. Other people helped, but if Seth and I didn't want that last version of the Dogs, it never would have happened. And then by the end, we both left because we just weren't happy anymore. You know what I mean? Seth went and played for Houston, and I quit playing because we just weren't happy. So it's not hard for us to understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not happy, you're not happy. So,
I'll say, yeah, I'm excited, honestly, just because it's new. Friggin' I get to put my brother out a couple times now. And like I said, I'm cool with everybody. Like I've talked to Jared, I talked to Zach, was over a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Like freaking we're all cool. Like we all crappy we're gonna play with each other again, but at the end of the day, we're all gonna have fun where we're at.
So talk about this Philly team, man. I mean, I was surprised that Phillies finished this last year because I think it's a team with good pieces already. Johnny Ma, my boy Andrew Green out there on the team. The Green Machine. But I mean, that's a team that I was already excited about. But with you and Scott Hogwood coming over, I mean, that's a lineup that like took a nice boost, man.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I've gotten to meet a lot of the people, not the whole team yet, but I haven't. Everybody seems cool, and I'm there a lot now, so it just made sense.
Awesome. Let's bring Dakota. Yeah, let's bring you in to talk about it and your team going forward, because you were there before, and you got the new people coming in. Do you need Seth and I to sit your dad down and tell him to go play somewhere else this year?
No, not this year.
All right.
So I might have to send you on him.
Oh, a few years, that dude gonna be over 50, man. You guys won't start him anyways. I'm just teasing, but you talk about it's probably exciting for you because you had family beyond your dad that was playing on the Titans. So like I assume the whole crew's coming back.
Yeah, we do get them too. Camry, she's going to be spotting for us, and Lexi. I'm not too sure if she's going to be heavy on the commentating this year, like doing the games and stuff, but I do know she's going to be there spotting. She wants to be a part of it as well this year. So,
what's the team? Like I'm guessing the team excitement level right now is pretty high.
Yeah, the team definitely seems pretty hyped to have my dad back in Philly. That's where he started, was Philly. So
right.
Back over here, him. I think it was him. John, like he got John Margis involved in the sport, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But
you know, that sounds because we've had Johnny on the show before, and that sounds familiar. But I don't know. I don't like you. I'm not positive, but I do think you might be right.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
I think
stick
he
with
started
it.
him
It sounds
out.
like a good story, so let's stick with it.
I know. I should never allow any like doubt to creep in. I should just say it like it's absolute.
No, I let doubt creep in because if I'm wrong and don't quote me, then people are like, "Oh, you said this." I'm like,
Actually, one thing you could feel safe about when you're on the show, everything that goes wrong just gets blamed on Seth. So say
Okay,
whatever you want. Hey Matt, what about you? You know, is it Lexi that does the play-by-play?
yes, sir.
I was about to say, hold on just 1 second here. Who's commentating these Philadelphia Fire games?
I actually was wondering if you and Lexi might team up similar to how you and Rosina do.
Because yeah, I was gonna say it would actually be great. I didn't know that was a possibility. It would actually be awesome to have a pair of eyes to do that. And I was actually going to speak to that in a second because I know that people enjoyed listening to Rosina and my broadcast, and she was the perfect complement to me because Rosina is a great describer of action, and really it was really cool for those of you who paid attention and watched our streams. It was really cool kind of watching her develop that on-air personality. It was something she came on, she was like, hey, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be, I'll just here to provide. But she really developed kind of like a little on-air personality, which was great. But it would be awesome to have Lexi and to have kind of eyes to like, I don't know who the heck picked up this ball, but someone did. So, and Lexi's a very knowledgeable sports person.
Do you know she's aiming for doing more like field work this year? So I'm not sure if she'll be commentating like that, but I know if for like bigger games, she'll probably pop in and probably do bigger games with you.
But I had to speak to it.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
My sports guy in me is coming out. When you mentioned a few minutes ago about the Fire and how you were surprised at their finish, I have to just say that there was it was a very patchwork lineup in the World Series because not only do you not have Scott, who's just joined the team, and Ty, who's just joined the team, who's going to be in that lineup. You also didn't have Justin Rhines, who is a phenomenal up and coming player. He wasn't able to come to the World Series. You don't have Casey Krause, who, if anyone hasn't seen him yet, is a really good, really young up and coming player. So the Fire, not only it's exciting because they got these guys like Scott and John, who are obviously, thunder in the lineup, and Tyler Rodriguez, which is really exciting, and Cody, who's a pretty darn good offensive player in her own right. But you got to look at these young guys, Justin and Casey, as kind of the catalyst to really, they were the reason why they had to put some other guys in the lineup who weren't on the Fire. They had to get some recruits. Really, it came down to John and Cody, and maybe Gina wound up kind of being the only regulars in the World Series in the lineup consistently. Otherwise, you had to get a B. Yang, a Cesar, a Shannon Canton to kind of fill the holes that were created by injury and by circumstance. What's that?
I said we loved them all being out there.
Absolutely, it was awesome. But
B. Yang, I was never familiar with him before, but he made some great plays on defense.
Defensive star.
Yeah, he played really well.
Whiz.
Yeah. Is he from the Pasadena team?
Yes,
okay.
He is. I believe he is. It's a California. I want to say Pasadena. He said California, so I want to say
the Pasadena Panthers?
Panthers, yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh,
I think it's the Panthers.
Good call. Stop calling me sir.
Sorry.
You're good. I know I'm an old man. I'm bitter.
No, it's just a habit.
You did nothing wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I kind of got to go. My dad's waiting for me in a winery.
Okay.
But yeah, I was waiting to butt in. But thanks for having me on here. I'm sorry I had to.
No, it's not your fault. Neil was late. We're sorry. It's not your fault. It's Neil's fault.
Blame it on Seth though, if you could. Yeah. Hey, TY man, I do have one last little concern for you, dude.
Yes.
You know, hooking up with a hogwood, like it seems like your family's really fertile and their family's really fertile. I just gotta say, be extremely careful. Extremely careful, TY.
Oh yeah, I hope Scott doesn't hear this.
Hilarious.
Well,
No, thanks. You set this all up for me. Thanks a lot, TY. Belated happy birthday to you, man.
thank you. I'll have some wine for y'all.
All right, brother. Be well.
Later,
Good
y'all.
luck to,
Take care.
Deuces. Everybody on here, though, all three of us have families with, I guess, over like all six of we've all got like 6 siblings.
Oh, wow.
Like 6 of
That's
us in
funny.
all.
Yes, I do. I have 6 siblings. Yeah, I have 5 siblings
Yeah.
as well. That's funny.
Seth and
You
I
guys
are.
have a big family.
Seth, what are you? 1 of 4? 1 of 5. 1 of 4.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm 1 of 5. So we're all
That's
above
still-
the average. We're all above the average. You know, TY jumped in when we were talking about you working with somebody could see or not. And listen, I like you've done a great job doing games by yourself. I think I could do a job. You know, I think I could entertain people throughout a game without somebody sided there. DB, obviously, sorry, Yoko has always done a great job when he's doing them by himself. However, you know, I love the teamwork of you and Rosina, like having both the exact player that did whatever, you know, hearing whether or not it went to short right field or deep right, you know what I mean? Having more exact. Still, for me, just sitting back listening makes it better. I can enjoy both, and I'm not discarding either. But I guess just saying like I'm gonna listen to fire games whether you're doing them by yourself, and if Lexi joins in and you guys do them together. Honestly, I prefer having 2 people do the games over one person anyways. Like I enjoy more of a conversation than just one person. Yeah, so
I would agree with you.
You get 2 perspectives from it.
Yeah. Because I mean, no, not at all. Everybody could jump in, and we're about to wrap up. I definitely want to promote the NBBA stuff, but before we get out of here, you know, we're about to wrap up. But you know, everybody could jump in. I mean, Seth, you've been listening to play by play forever. I'm sure you.
I was trying to think of anybody that I remember being a single person though. Was Chick Hearns just by himself? But I can't think of ever remembering. I just don't remember anybody who was, you know, a single person.
You know, though, you're mostly just a football fan, really.
You
know what I
I'm
mean?
mostly a Cowboy fan.
I was going to say, as a hockey
I listen
fan,
to Brad Sham. Go ahead.
As a hockey fan, the Blue Jackets have their own guy. You know, in hockey, there's a few that do because, you know, the markets aren't as big. They can't, like the Florida Panthers, I believe, just hired a color guy, but for a few years they had just their broadcaster. But yeah, the NFL, there's like no one. It's always like 2 or even 3 people sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and there's also only 16 games, so you know what I mean. There's no point to not put a team together. But like in the NBA, you know what I mean. When you got somebody doing 82 games, I guess some teams don't want to pay. Like my Sacramento Kings have always just done one voice in the radio booth, and ironically during COVID. Because they don't travel with the announcers don't travel with the team anymore. They have been allowing like other people to get in on the broadcast, and I've liked it so much more. Even if it's a professional.
Grant just did one. I mean, because I heard enough Kings games, so Grant was always just one.
No, on TV they have two. Okay, I'm talking about the radio broadcast.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Right. I thought
in the NBA, like I think in all the sports on TV, they're always going to have 2 people because TV's where all the money is. So, but I don't know. In the end, we got way off track. But I just like having blindsided, whatever, when I'm listening to beat baseball games, especially in beat baseball, because, you know, we get timeouts because of planes and dead balls and dead bases, whatever, you know, there's a downtime. So having one person just fill in all that empty space is tough anyway. So,
hey, can I throw you a question, Matt? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll answer. I ask you a question right after this. Go ahead. Answer.
Yeah, we didn't hear what you just said, Matt.
Oh, no. I just said, yes, it is a lot of pressure when you do a full game by yourself. And it's something that I don't mind doing. Like you said, I don't mind doing it. If I'm doing a game, okay, let's do it. Like, but if you're saying that, like Lexi and Rosina, you know, for those of you who listen to our broadcast, like I felt as though she complimented me perfectly because she had the perfect personality to describe the action, and I could still be Matt. I could still, you know, make analysis, make little jokes, make little comments. Rosina was literally perfect for me and perfect for the booth, but she really allowed me also not only it wasn't just great just to have the tandem, but it was, you know, she allowed me to be kind of to still have my personality, because just because you have two people doesn't always mean they're going to mesh well or not talk over each other, or, you know. And I thought it was actually just it happened to be just a really good mix as well with myself and Rosina.
I thought you two interacted really well, and my honest first reaction, because I heard the first game you guys did when the Fire and the Chaos played each other, and you
with DB.
You guys teamed up with DB.
Yoko.
But my first impression of Rosina's play-by-play, I literally thought she was a professional play-by-play person, because she was just filling in stuff so smooth, just giving, you know, like it's like, pitch just slid under the bat by a few inches, and then she turned it back to you. And then when the pitch came, she would do, you know, give the next whatever description. Like, I mean, you hit it on the head. You guys complimented each other really well. Seth, you had a question for Matt?
Yeah, you know, I know I talked to you beforehand and all that stuff. You're a big sports guy. You don't play at all? Have you ever played for the beat ball or anything like that?
Cody can tell you, I actually played. So I'm the opposite of Cody's story. You know, she used to play and now she used to spot, and so now she plays. I used to play, and that convinced me that I was much better in the broadcast booth.
Should have seen this guy going down the line.
Maddie No Cleats. And if you listen to, you know, and I'll make several jokes if whoever listens to my play-by-play next year, I always make little jokes and references to it during the broadcast. Not every game, but, like, you know, I'll always make little jokes to Maddie No Cleats, and now, you know, this reminds me of a Matt Wallace at bat.
That's right. You never did have cleats. You always wore just some sneakers.
Sneakers are like dress shoes. Were you out there in like slacks and stuff?
Like ball shorts.
No, I mean, it's just funny. I grew up with three older brothers that were athletes, like I said, or two of them were definitely very athletic. I don't know. The athletic part was work. I just want to analyze and discuss and interact. You know, the exercising and the other stuff, you know. And there was, you know, there was just a clear difference. There was just a clear, like, myself and, you know, Mike Coughlin is my is actually my roommate now, and he's a really good player now.
I was literally just getting ready to confirm. I was going to ask you. I was like, I heard you and Coughlin are roommates. I was literally just getting ready to ask. Go ahead.
And, you know, we both started practicing at the same time, and just watching him getting better and better, and just kind of realizing what my commitment to the sport was, it kind of made me just want to be a fan of his and want to be a fan of, you know, like, obviously Dakota started playing and it just really made me want to watch them play and to cheer them on and to analyze their games and, you know, not be like the 8th or 9th guy on the bench, you know, cheering them on.
You played some goal ball, didn't you? Did I hear that someplace along the lines? Am I wrong?
Yeah, that was not the same story as beat baseball.
Yeah,
you know,
but you did. Fair enough.
Athletic. Some people are just made to talk about sports.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, for those of you that want to check out Matt's best work, off the field, go to NBBA video on YouTube. Since you're checking out our show on YouTube, just do a little search for NBBA video. I don't know if all 7 games are up there. I think they are. I haven't been up there honestly myself since before the show with Rosina, so I'm not even totally sure. I know there's a lot of stuff up there, the championship game and several other games. So to go check out NBBA video. You could check out the streams that Matt and Rosina did. Matt, are you planning being back out there next year?
Hey, if I'm invited back, I will 1,000% be there. Absolutely. And if anything, I know the Fire will hopefully want me back to do their games. So absolutely, 100%. I had a blast last year at the World Series.
I could see the Fire wanting you.
Off the field, off the field.
You might have
you're saying?
Yes, sir. Most definitely off the field.
So you don't think they want me to be their short guy?
I mean, hey, you got to fight Casey for it, but you got to prove yourself on the field.
I plan to be out there next year, Matt. And I was telling Rosina when she was on the show that I'd love to, get close enough to, sit in on you guys a little bit. But she told me she has mom arms and she'll smack me if I get in the way of you guys. So I might have to keep my distance, but I will be out there looking for you next year, Matt.
And Matt, don't worry, man. He's been planning on going every year for the last 15 years.
That's not true. I didn't plan to go the last 2 years.
No, that's true.
COVID made him not.
Leave me alone. All right. All right, you guys. We got nothing else for you, but thanks so much, man. Today just seemed to be crazy getting everything together, and I don't know. Even once we were going, it seemed to not be so smooth. But you each, including Ty, rode with it really well. So thank you very much. I appreciated having you guys here.
Thanks for inviting us on.
My
Yeah,
pleasure.
so
Our pleasure. You bet. You bet. Good luck to the Fire. Be looking forward to it. We've been a fan since we had them on the show before. Had Gina and Johnny Ma come
Only
on the
since
show.
then.
I was.
You've only been fans since then.
Hey, Dakota. I was gonna say, fan.
Wow.
In all fairness, go ahead, Matt.
No, I'm just saying it was really great talking to you, and it was really you seem like one of those guys. You both seem like one of those guys that just as a sports guy, and I just need to go to whatever bar is halfway between Philadelphia and Sacramento or the Bay Area, and we just need to all like. How about this? In 2057, when the Kings play the Indiana Pacers in the finals,
that's painful.
we are getting together.
That's painful, and I don't even know if we'll be ready by 2057.
Jeez,
Yeah, I'm telling you, Kings and the Pacers are both. It's gonna happen.
And
Matt, you're still a young man, man.
Yeah, I'd be 90
2057 is pretty far away. Man.
Even though
I'll drink for you guys.
Even though my dad's kicking strong at 94, and his side of the family seems to live, man. I don't know that I'll be arguing with anybody about sports in my 90s. All right, everybody. That is it for this week. Looks like Seth Dog, we have a big announcement coming on next week's show. Not from us. Not from us necessarily, but it will affect the landscape of the NBBA. So that's your teaser for next week.
I don't even know. Crazy.
That's what we've been talking.
Cody and I need to listen now. Like I don't know. I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
You gotta tune in now. Like what the heck?
Now I'm going to take Dakota's attitude. Now, what you mean now? You should have been listening before. All right, everybody, that is it. Good luck, Philly Fire. Look forward to seeing you guys next year. Look forward to catching everybody else next week with the big announcement. Thank you, Seth Dog. Thank you, Frank Porter. And good night, Aunt Cindy.